Morning. I'm Drew. I'm a A&E Reg and Clinical Fellow at Barnsley Hospital. I'm here with our sim team at the back. And as the title of our poster suggests, I'm going to talk a little bit about building a sim lab at Barnsley, why it was done, how it was done, and some of the challenges that we encountered. Now, I've only got 3 minutes, so as far as the why, just by show of hands, how many people here have a sim lab where they work? Excellent. We're at a simulation conference, so we've got a self-selected group. So I'm not going to focus too much on why we should be doing sim. I think hopefully we're all on board with that. I won't focus too much also on the how, other than to say it took 1.5 years from initial plans to sort of completion of the lab, and cost £90,000, and that's inclusive of the mannequin. I think there's a talk later on about a £56 million sim lab, so it'd be really interesting to hear the sort of the extra things they have. What I will focus on is the challenges. So 3 challenges and how we overcame them, and 3 top tips from that. So challenge number 1 was identifying a space in the hospital. So have a think where you work. If you didn't have a sim lab, where would you put it? Where do you want it, sort of location-wise? So Jane Acty, one of our sim leads, met with a space utilisation group and found out that the medical photography department was going to move out, so that space would be freed up. So that was in a good spot. It was central in the hospital. It was near the canteen. There was room for the virtual ward, room for the tech room, and room for the debrief room. So that was pretty much job done, subject to sort of exec team approval, etc. So that was challenge number 1. Challenge number 2, SimTech. So the lab was finished in January. It was officially open in May, and we've only just employed a SimTech this month. They obviously bring an invaluable role to sim labs, and certainly from our experience are a lot more tech savvy than us medics. So I think as a learning point, thank you, we'd certainly get the SimTech a lot earlier. And finally, getting equipment. We had an empty space in January, so we needed to beg, borrow, not steal, sort of supplies, equipment, consumables. So we met with SimTechs from around the region. Olivia, you may or may not remember, I sort of rang to ask about walkie-talkies and things like that. So really just to ask them what would they prioritise. So that's the 3 main challenges. Get the space, get SimTech, and get your equipment. I think main learning point is just collaborate early, obviously get people invested in sim, get people on board. Thanks very much. I'll take any questions.
Perfect. Any questions for Drew?
Who's the main driver for it?
I'm going to say Jane. Would you, the main driver for the sim lab?
Who was or what was?
Who was?
Me, yeah, probably me. I got employed as one of 3 sim leads about 6 months after they bought a mannequin, and they didn't have a space to use it in.
So we had some equipment at the start, and then the lab sort of came after, which is not always the usual way.
Question?
Thank you.
Thank you.